Hi, welcome to the Insurance Teacher. I'm Jeff Hastings, and I'm actually the husband of Kim Hastings, who owns the insurance agency. I actually work on in the back of the insurance agency, actually developing systems. That's why I'm very casual, and I work out of our home. But I build systems to make doing business easier for Kim and her employees, but also to maximize the user experience for you, to give you the information you need, but also for every single client that the agency is privileged to serve. So in Kim's agency, she does an incredible job of making sure that her customers have information and they have the best rate and best every single discount they're entitled to receive. But what's really cool about how Kim runs her agency is Kim isn't an insurance agent. She doesn't consider herself an insurance agent. She's a teacher by trade. She'd been a teacher for many years before she purchased an insurance agency in Cypress, Texas, and took over the agency. But she took everything she learned as a teacher and applies it to her insurance agency. And it's actually a very, I think, very much needed in the industry. I can tell you, I worked for Farmers for 28 years before I retired to build agency systems and do agency consulting for insurance agents, managers, and big companies all over the country. And I can tell you it's very rare. I mean, my wife, I know I'm biased, but at the same time, to see an agent who cares so much about the employees, about the customers, and actually will spend time to make sure they have the right coverage is amazing. So I'm very proud of her. She's a AAA, what's called a AAA agent. She's the highest rated in customer service in the nation, which is incredible. She made the top 100 list. Although she's only been an agent for a few years, her knowledge is incredible of the industry. She has gotten so many compliments, and right when she took over the agency, we've had back-to-back huge floods here in the Cypress area. She did her best to meet with every single client that was affected. She pulled up carpet. We went to houses. I mean, just over and above what you would expect from an insurance agency, but that's the way it probably should be. It's just not done that way very often. So anyway, enough about that. I wanted to introduce you to her site, theinsuranceteacher.com, and also to your personal portal. Before you decide on whether or not you accept the career, I know you applied for a position in the agency, that's why you have access to this page. We wanted to make sure you had all the information, the good and the bad, about working in the insurance career if you don't have experience, but maybe you have experience, but also just to know a little bit about the agency and give you that information before you actually officially apply and go in for an interview. So your job dashboard looks like this, and actually this is what it looks like today. It may change tomorrow. We are constantly updating things, so if it looks a little bit different, then you just know that we're making improvements every single day in the way the agency runs. So in this portal, you're going to see you've got information from your education. You've got your dashboards right here, and I'll move my picture. You'll see a couple of different dashboards that you'll have access to. And some of these tabs may not work because you're not given access to everything, but it's here. But this is an introduction to her agency. Here's a quick video from my beautiful wife. Here is the, about the agency. It is in Cypress. And here are messages that you will see. You can contact Kim or anyone in the agency. And you can also, this is for our basic contact form, ask a question, update your information, love you to be a client as well. But that's where you would put your information. So here's a little bit about Farmers. If you don't know about Farmers and the career with Farmers, this is what about the insurance teacher, a little bit about our brand proposition. The University of Farmers and the education, you're going to see here that there will be courses that you will be offered right here in your course list. How to become maybe in the future, you may want to become an agent. And we put in here just a little brochure. You can't see much of it, but you can download it. And if, maybe the goal is one day you'd like to have your own agency. Kim is approved to be a mentor agent to help train and teach someone to own their own agency. And by all means, we want people's dreams and goals to come true. So if that's your personal goal, then, we would absolutely, you're in the best place in the world because we focus on building great training systems to help the agents, producers, referral partners be the best they can be. So you would be in a great place. So this talks a little bit about the agency, and if you actually wanted to have your own agency one day, but also personalized coaching. And here's a personality profile. Do you have what it takes? Answer the questions here. Let me tell you, be very honest. There's no reason to not be honest whenever you take this questionnaire. just to make sure that you have what it takes to be successful in insurance sales. Here's a book, amazing book. Well, I wrote it, so I think it's amazing, but you can download this. It's how to open and operate, and you look at it and say, well, I'm not really interested in becoming an agent. I just want to work as a customer service representative, telemarketer, outside sales producer, whatever. But to think like an agent really makes a big difference. So everybody in the agency is expected to achieve something. If you're just wanting a job and just to show up and get paid, this would not be the opportunity for you. This is an agency that they love to have a lot of fun. They've got great morale. They hire great attitudes. And that's so important that everybody comes to the office and work. They're positive, high energy, and focused. But at the same time, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And as you can imagine with technology, everything can be measured. And we want to make sure that every single person is adding value to the office. So we want you to think, even like if you're not an agent, we want you to think like an agent, because that's the mentality of generating revenue and profits for the agency, and so how important that is for the agency's survival. So here's some FAQs you can kind of look at. The next step, if you find out that, hey, I really want to do this, is this official application if you haven't submitted one. And then different jobs, believe it or not, these are different careers that I'm actually filling. There's just a few of them here. I usually only have 3. And one's in Cypress, Dallas, and I've got clients all over the country. Official application if you haven't filled one out. And here's another thing that makes our agency completely different. We want you to do your homework before you set up an interview. This is extremely important. We want you to conduct surveys. The surveys are such an important part of the process because we want you to actually find out what's going to make you different. It's when you do these surveys and you interview your friends, your family, your social network, we want you to find out, what do they love about their current insurance agent or company? Why do they choose them? What do they wish that their maybe agent or company would do different? When's the last time actually a professional agent sat down with them to take the time to give them a professional recommendation? I can tell you, most agents don't do that. So when you're asking these questions, you're going to find out about the opportunity, and because people have to have insurance, and most insurance agents may be nice people, but let's face it, most insurance agents, they jump from sale to sale to sale. All they do is they write a policy and they go off to the next one, write a policy, go off to the next one. If you call, you're going to get maybe great service, but really, do they sit down? I mean, insurance, think about it for a moment and think about your own personal budget. It's probably the second largest expense you have for insurance, is after paying for your house. In many cases, when you throw in health insurance in there, it's more than your house payment, significantly more. So don't you think it's important to have an insurance agent, a professional agent that you trust, to make sure you don't have duplicate coverages, to make sure you have all the right coverage, every discount you're entitled to receive, and also that there are no gaps in that insurance program? That's what makes Kim's agency different. That's what makes her unique. She does video consulting like this, so you don't have to drive in. If you're a client, you don't have to drive into her office to actually meet with her staff. A click of a button, you're right there, and she's on the screen, and she'll go through, share a screen like this, and go through your policy and conduct a review. So it doesn't matter if someone lives in Cypress, Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, Austin, or even in some cases some coverage out of state, but she will be there to make sure you have the right coverage. And what I love too is it's not going to be the type of policy of the week. It's going to be what someone needs. And I'll tell you, most insurance agents love to sell term insurance, temporary insurance. Insurance companies love that because they don't want you to actually own a policy, because as soon as you get older and they try to get you in on a cheaper rate, that all of a sudden you're uninsurable. It's kind of like renting a house. After you rent a house for 20 years, you get nothing in return. It's the same thing with a term life insurance policy. After 20 years, you get nothing back, and that's the point. You're probably going to need it. Insurance companies know that, and they're not going to give you a new policy. So she does what's right, and is to evaluate. If you need temporary policy, it's like renting a home for just a few years. It's silly to buy it. But if you need life insurance, for instance, for a long period of time, it's best that you find a policy that you can own, that freezes the rate, that doesn't go up, that has cash value, and is going to be there when you need it the most. So what I love about what she does is takes the time to explain those type of things and sells what you need, and something you can look back on and say you're glad that you sat down with her. So college funding, is a real big deal. Of course, she's a teacher. We have 6 children, 3 boys, 3 girls. 2 are out of college, 1's in college, another one's starting college here in a couple of months, and 2 right behind them. And we know how important it is to save for college education. So that's a really big thing for her. And most people do not sell college education. They don't talk about it. Do you know why? Well, the average commission's about $2 or $3 a month. But that's not what it's about. It's about doing what's right. And it's about teaching and being there for your clients. So she does help a lot of people with college funding, or talk to people about it. Whether they do it or not is up to them. So on these surveys, we want you to find that out. And even more importantly, if you are selected for this position, you want to ask the question, do you mind if I give you a quote, if I'm selected for the position, to give you a quote to see if we can offer you product, services, or even maybe a better rate? I mean, so if with one policy, Kim represents a bunch of different insurance companies. Farmers is her primary company, but she has access to almost 40. So she does have a lot of that, but Farmers just happens to be the best company, and we're in Houston, so people have catastrophic losses. You want a big company that's actually going to take care of you, and there's just less headache, less hassle. It is a great company, but if price is a major issue, they only want one policy, or they have a very old house or a very large house, where Chubb or some other company would be better, then she has access to those markets as well. But the more policies you have with one agent, of course, the better discounts, and also it makes it to where she can make sure there's no duplicate coverages. And I can tell you, probably 8 times out of 10, if someone wants to write all their insurance with her agency, she's even, not only the best service, she's also going to be very, very competitive, if not cheaper than what they're currently paying, because they usually are paying for things they may not need, or they just don't have the right coverage. So what we want you to do is this. On the surveys, click on survey. There are 2 different types. One of them is, it says for a job interview, and the second says just research. So the for a job interview is going to let people know, and all you put is your friend's first name, last name, email address. It will let them know that you're looking for a position, that you've been assigned an assignment to please click on a survey about their insurance, and it is going to give you incredible information to help you prepare for your interview. To find out, it's going to start making you think about how can you be different if you're offered this position. So it's going to give you great information. And also what it's going to do, it's going to provide great leads for you if you're accepted in this position. Usually it is going to be, unless you're interviewing just for a customer service employee type position, but even that is required to assist in the sales process, is to generate leads. So that is the start of that lead process. Now, if you don't want anyone to know that you're applying for a job, just select just research. And it just says you're helping conduct research in the insurance market. Please click on the link below. And here's what I recommend you do. Send both of those letters to you first. So make sure it's all working the way you need it to work. If it's not, you let us know. My number, it's not on here, but write this down, 281-752-6565. Or you can put support at Kim Hastings Agency or the insurance teacher, either one. And we will be able to answer your questions. You may also see a little thing pop up that someone can answer your questions here, or you can contact us. There's a million different ways. So do these surveys, as many as you can. You're going to be judged on how many surveys you can do. If you can only do, 25 surveys, then that's, it's going to be a lot less likely that you're going to be successful in a sales type career. We want you to have an extensive social media network, possibly. Realize that is a great way to network and to meet other people. So you may not have one now, it's okay, but we want you to work on it, your LinkedIn profile for finding business leads, but there are a lot of ways to do it. We help you with it, but we want you to have a lot of surveys. I mean, we're expecting you should at least have 50 to 100 surveys that could maybe be done. And a good percentage of those, if they like you, they'll say, yeah, you can give me a quote. But when you're interviewing and you set up your interview with Kim, now you have not only you have great information, but what you're going to have is you're going to have potential leads, and you're going to have a lot of power, because if you've got a lot of people, the more likely you're going to be offered a position, or at least to get started in one, to see if you have what it takes. So, and trust me, you would love working in the agency. If you've got insurance experience, you would love working in the agency. So here's refer a friend. You can also do, if you're not even offered a position, you will be in this, you have an account here, and you'll see that we actually have a rewards program through an Amazon deal where someone can receive Amazon credit. Even if you're not licensed, you get commissions, of course, if you're licensed, but you can refer a friend. And also for yourself, if you want to know or want to become a client of the agency, which is a big plus, you can actually get a quote, and they can work with you to give you a quote on your insurance as well. So you can kind of experience it from a customer's perspective. But once you have this completed, you have your surveys, you feel comfortable, I would say a minimum of 25 quality surveys that say, yes, I would like a quote where you know that you have done some of that because, that background. Then what you're going to do is you're going to click on here for Schedule Now. And this is on the insuranceteacher.com. And you're going to schedule first employee interview, and you're going to set up an interview with Kim. You can also, it may be me or Kim, but you're going to set up an interview, and it will be done probably in office. Sometimes she'll do them online. It's completely up to what the timing's like and everything. But you set that up and meet with her. You're going to bring your survey information and all that kind of stuff. And when you send out the surveys, it'll tell your friends and family and everyone what to do. They just click on a link, go to survey, answer. It takes them literally 2 minutes. 3 minutes, and it's just going to give you the information you need. But anyway, I do wish you all the success, the luck, but the main thing, just happiness in whatever career you do pursue. And we really do appreciate you taking the opportunity to consider joining our team. It's a great team. It's fun. My wife is beautiful inside and out. The agency, great people. It is a newer an agency has been around since 1992, but she's only been over this agency for a couple years. And they're already asking her to speak at events. So she's doing very well. And it's not because of high pressure sales tactics. It's because she treats people with the respect they deserve. But anyway, good luck. I hope to meet you, and God bless.